Right now, on to the point.
What do we want? Fair pay! When do we want it? Yesterday!
Hundreds of Sacramento attorneys walk off the job tonight what they're demanding and the impact it'll have on the courts. Plus, closing Camp Resolution. Law enforcement and city officials taking the property back. We're live with what's next for those living there.
Temperatures starting to warm, moderate heat risk in play this week.
And later, cracking down on retail theft. Dozens of people arrested and cited in a recent operation. As always, thank you so much for starting your week with us. On to the point, I'm Alex Bell. And today, hundreds of Sacramento County attorneys walked off the job and went on strike demanding justice for themselves. ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen joins us tonight to explain what they're asking for and how the county is responding. Jeannie?
Well, Alex, these attorneys represent the district attorney's public defender's office and the Department of Child Support Services. Tonight, they're asking for competitive wages to retain and recruit, but county officials say they already have enough.
Don't care. You don't care. You don't care. Our experts are leaving to jobs that have better pay and less work.
On Monday morning, hundreds of attorneys from the Sacramento County DA's and Public Defender's Office showed up to the main courthouse in downtown.
What do we want? Fair pay! When do we want it? Yesterday!
The county has been misleading the public by claiming we already received the raise. That so-called raise was only a cost of living adjustment.
The union wants to make clear they are not looking to get rich.
We chose this path despite the heavy burden of law school debt and the lure of more lucrative careers because we believe in justice, fairness, dignity for every person regardless of their means.
District Attorney Tin Ho showed up to a court hearing today as the strike was ongoing, but made it clear his attorneys deserve these raises as he's having difficulty retaining and recruiting experienced attorneys.
I believe and support my attorneys getting the proper benefits and fair wages and benefits.
A county spokesperson tells ABC 10 top annual salaries for county attorneys range from $204,000 to $247,000, which is well above market averages, adding a 19.5 to 20.5% increase as opposed to the 14 to 15% provided as part of the current extension seems counterintuitive, and market data does not support such a raise. But the union says this response from the county is jeopardizing the quality of work they're able to produce.
And it's because the entire criminal justice system is connected. It's all one part. And when you underfund parts, it causes defects elsewhere. It's like a ship with multiple holes. And you can plug one hole, but if you don't bring the whole ship up, it's going to sink. And that's what's going on in this county.
The union is asking for at least 5.5% more than what they're being offered.
I'm having issues recruiting and retaining attorneys, and we're asking for fair benefits. And I'm asking the county CEO to really step up and to sit down and to help resolve this conflict.
The Sacramento County Attorneys Association wants to reiterate they are not short-staffed, but they're lacking seasoned attorneys, adding more work onto the attorneys with experience.
Of course, the big question is how will this impact the ongoing court proceedings? The union says it's still dedicated to its work as public servants.
We will show up for every trial that's already in progress. We will show up for last day trials, meaning the accused has a constitutional right to have it within a statutory period. We will show up for the end of that statutory period. And we will show up for our last day preliminary hearings.
And Jeannie, I got to ask you, do we know at this time how long the strike is expected to last? And also, how is the county going to adjust to make sure that there aren't any interruptions while court proceedings are still going on?
Well, Alex, a union representative tells me it's going to be up to the county to come up with a better offer. And a county spokesperson does tell me that this is all going to be up to the union. But the county will also be providing private attorneys to a limited number of cases and says all in custody arrests will be timely reviewed and there should be no interruptions to arraignments.
All right, very important here in our community. Of course, you already know. Jeannie will keep following this story for us. Thank you so much. The self-governing homeless encampment, Camp Resolution, is shut down. Today, law enforcement, along with Sacramento City officials, started the process of vacating the Colfax Street site. And the camp has existed for 2 years now. And a lease between a local nonprofit and the city allowed it to remain. But problems with the site and disagreements between groups led to the termination of the agreement earlier this summer. And now dozens of people who lived at the camp don't have a place to go. So ABC 10's Roxana Elias is live live in front of the property. And Roxanne, it looks much different than it did just this morning. Can you explain to us what you have seen today as the city evicted those residents?
Well, Alex, we have been here since this morning, and I just want to let you take a look at the site here, almost unrecognizable from what we saw earlier this morning, where the area basically was lined in trailers, cars, and belongings of some of the people who live here. We watched as tow trucks removed multiple cars and those trailers as well. Trailers in areas that people call their home here, and now many of them are wondering where they're going to end up next.
They're destroying our homes. They're taking our home from us. Somewhere we're safe. This is all we have. We have nothing out there. We don't have a house, nothing. This was our house.
Sacramento police removed barbed wire and cut chains at the camp's entrance early Monday morning. Soon after, several people were led away in handcuffs after refusing to leave. 4 people were cited for resisting and obstructing. People who live nearby say the camp closing has been a long time coming.
It's disgusting, and I'm always afraid my grandkids won't even come over. So I wish they were gone now.
But advocates of Camp Resolution residents say it's a disgrace to see the community broken up.
They're not just another homeless camp. These are our family, these are our friends, and we come here to support them in any shape, form, or fashion that we need to be. This is a devastating emotional day, and they need some emotional and spiritual support.
The camp was established about 2 years ago. Then in March 2023, nonprofit Safe Ground Sacramento established a lease with the city on behalf of the residents. It allowed homeless people to stay on the city-owned property. The city saw it as an experiment that could be replicated if successful. But problems with the site and lease this year led to Safe Ground terminating the agreement with the city earlier this summer and an eviction date of August 26.
This experiment has not produced the results that I think any of the parties want.
The city says it's made more than 60 attempts in the last 6 months to access the site and connect people with services, leading them to permanent housing. After the lease was terminated, the city offered residents shelter at either Outreach and Engagement Center off Auburn Boulevard or at the Roseville Road campus shelter. We're told several people accepted help, but there are others like Julie Messis who don't plan on taking it.
Well, now they told us to go to the shelter on Roseville Road or Auburn Boulevard. I don't want to go there. I'm not going to be searched every time I go in and only can't have to get rid of my pets. Those are my babies. I'm not getting rid of any of them.
Tim Swanson acknowledges neither of the places are perfect, but he says they're safe and clean.
There are restrooms there. There are showers there. People receive 3 meals a day. There is central air, heating and cooling in common spaces, both in the Outreach and Engagement Center and Roseville Road.
For those who don't plan on taking the offer, their concern now is their safety.
Out here, there's nowhere for me to go. Where am I going to go? I have no home to go to. I don't know what to do.
The Sacramento Homeless Union asked a judge to delay the eviction. The judge didn't respond in time, but a hearing is set for Friday. The union's attorney says they are fighting to be able for the people to return here to Camp Resolution. We'll keep you guys updated. I'm live in North Sacramento. Roxanne Elias, ABC 10.
Thank you, Roxanne. And the city has offered some people who were living at the camp shelter at the Outreach and Engagement Center off of Auburn Boulevard near Watt Avenue or at the Roseville Road campus shelter in North Highlands. And at least 10 people of the 48 who were living at the camp are planning to move to this shelter off of Roseville Road. There is common areas with the shelter. There's also electricity, air conditioning, heating, showers, and bathrooms. However, the individual sleep cabins do not have electricity yet. So we're also told that the city has helped another resident reunify with their family. And we have been following Camp Resolution and the back and forth between the city, the Homeless Union, and Safe Ground Sacramento. You can read more about what led up to this and how each side is responding on our website at abc10.com. In other news tonight, a search is underway for those involved in a weekend shooting in North Sacramento, and it happened at just 3 a.m. on Sunday off of Orlando Way near El Camino Avenue. Officers say they found a man with a life-threatening gunshot wound who died at the scene, and a second person was found shot nearby. And officers say a third person took themselves to the hospital. Anyone with information should call the Sacramento Police Department. And a man has died following a motorcycle crash Sunday in Midtown. Officers say the crash happened along 24th and J Street. They say 55-year-old Jose Silva's motorcycle collided with another car, and he was taken to the hospital, but later died. And the cause of the crash, including the possibility of criminal charges, is still under investigation. Next, on To the Point, the new tool helping in California's wildfire fight.
We're tracking 2 weather impact headlines, including temperatures near 100, plus the holiday forecast.
Plus hundreds of citations and arrests made in a local retail theft operation, the latest push to protect shoppers and employees. There is a brand new tool to help fight wildfires. Governor Gavin Newsom announced today that California will now deploy C-130 Hercules air tankers. And right now, CAL FIRE is retrofitting the tankers for wildfire fighting purposes, which includes installing a 4,000-gallon tank and retardant drop system. Definitely will help us out. Let's get over to Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods, because warmer today, but cooler conditions tonight, which is very nice.
It certainly is. You can open up the windows, let in that cool air as we head into our Tuesday morning forecast. You can see tonight we'll cool out of the 90s into the 60s. That's how we'll start tomorrow. But the heat is on the way. In fact, moderate heat risk building into our Tuesday, Wednesday, even lingering into our Thursday forecast before we start to see some of that cooler weather take shape, just in time for the holiday weekend. Unofficial end to summer already coming up here. Here's a look at the rundown for today. We were feeling more in the way of heat, with highs reaching the mid-90s, average high about the low to mid-90s, a little bit closer to average, certainly than what we had over the weekend, with areas of showers, even some highs in the 70s. But all that active weather now moving its way east, replaced by a couple of high pressure ridges that will be tracking into our end of the work week. That's going to get us really close to 100 this week. Some of us hitting it by tomorrow. Highs in the 70s and 80s for the Sierra for tomorrow. 80s and 90s down low, but there we go. Ione up to 100 tomorrow afternoon. 70s along the coast, 80s as we start to head towards the East Bay area, but then close to 100 for the Delta, including Rio Vista. A couple of 100s sprinkled in there throughout the regional valley forecast. Morning lows in the 50s and 60s. Highs warming close to 100. And we're going to stay with that heat through Wednesday and Thursday. Highs will be in the 80s as we kick off the holiday weekend for the mountains, 90s for the foothills, and for the coast, it's a mix of sun and clouds. Highs will be hovering right around 70 or so. 3-day forecast. This is going to be our peak heat Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, with highs close to 100. Then we start to cool things ever so slightly on Friday. And then through the holiday weekend, highs in the upper 80s, low 90s.
Next, on To the Point, cracking down on retail theft. Dozens arrested in the latest effort to protect shoppers and employees. Plus, health officials warning of a mosquito-borne illness now in several states. The things you can do to protect yourself. Well, hundreds of people were arrested or cited in Sacramento County after a big retail theft operation. The Sacramento County Sheriff's Office says 360 citations were given out. 240 people were arrested for misdemeanors and 20 others for felonies after a 5-day operation. 9 cars were also towed, and more than $22,000 worth of merchandise was recovered. And the Sheriff's Office says that operations like these are part of their goal of keeping shoppers and employees safe.
In this operation specifically, we're balancing both the larger retailers and some of the smaller retailers. We've been involved with retailers like Target. We've been involved in grocery stores, been involved in some beauty product stores.
And you already know retail theft has been a very hot topic here in California. Just 10 days ago, Governor Newsom signed a package of bills meant to crack down on retail crime and property theft. And the 10 public safety laws establish new penalties for repeat offenders, provide more tools for felony prosecutions, and crack down on serial shoplifters, retail thieves, and auto burglars. And on your ballot this November, you will be able to vote for or against Proposition 36. The ballot measure would roll back parts of Prop 47 related to punishments for drug theft and drug crimes. People convicted of certain crimes could receive increased punishments, such as longer prison sentences. And now to the race for the White House. Former President Donald Trump out in full force this week, hitting several crucial swing states. Meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris continues to ride on the high energy from the Democratic National Convention.
Thank you.
Former President Trump in battleground Michigan today, addressing the National Guard Association in Detroit.
Our country is being destroyed by a radical political class that sends our guardsmen and women to defend the borders of distant foreign nations while they surrender our own borders to an invasion.
Trump also marking the third anniversary of the chaotic U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. A ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery today to honor 13 U.S. service members killed in the terrorist attack at Kabul airport.
President! Oh!
3 wreaths placed near the tomb of the unknowns.
Today, we had a celebration of some great people, some great people who passed away, who were killed in the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country.
Vice President Harris releasing a statement today saying she will care for our troops and always honor their service and sacrifice, while standing by President Biden's right decision to end America's longest war. Her campaign reporting it's raised more than $500 million last month. $82 million came in just last week during the Democratic National Convention. The Harris campaign says she's focusing much of this week on debate preparation ahead of her first face-off with Trump.
You know, you can't cram knowledge into your head for, 30 years of knowledge in 1 week. You have to know your subject, and I think I know my subject.
And in addition to Michigan, Trump is visiting the key swing states of Wisconsin and Pennsylvania this week. And the latest polling from ABC News shows that Harris is leading in those states with the exception of Georgia, where she and running mate Tim Walz are set to visit on a bus tour. And several cities across the country are on high alert as health officials take steps to prevent the spread of the West Nile virus. The CDC says that the mosquito-borne illness has been detected in more than 30 states this year. While most people don't experience symptoms, the CDC says about 1 in 5 can develop a fever, headache, body aches, vomiting, diarrhea, or rash. And with no vaccine or treatment available, experts say that prevention is key.
Remove standing bodies of water around your property. This can be anything from pools or even bird baths, because you're not only going to prevent breeding grounds for mosquitoes, you're going to help prevent the spread of West Nile.
Experts also recommend using EPA-approved bug spray, avoid going outdoors at dawn or dusk, and wear long-sleeve clothing to protect yourself, of course. And getting into your price points tonight, with recent news of a hacking group saying that they've stolen most, if not all, of American Social Security numbers, people online are saying that everyone should freeze their credit report. So tonight, Stephanie Haney verifies what it does.
Let's verify. Does freezing your credit report protect you from unauthorized accounts being opened in your name? Our sources for this are the 3 major credit reporting agencies, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. A blog post from TransUnion says that a credit freeze will block access to your credit report and prevent anyone from opening a new account in your name, such as a credit card or loan. But my question was, can anyone with your Social Security number unfreeze your credit report? I tested this out myself, and I needed to submit either my full Social Security number or the last 4 digits to freeze my credit report in the first place with each of TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And to make accounts with each of these companies, I got confirmation text to my cell phone from each organization. So I needed access to my personal cell phone in order to unfreeze my credit report once I put the freezes in place. So we can verify, yes, freezing your credit report does protect you from unauthorized accounts being opened in your name. There are additional layers of protection in place with each company to unfreeze your credit report, so a thief won't be able to unfreeze that report with your Social Security number alone. You can go a step further with a credit lock if you want to, but unlike a credit freeze, that often costs money because it can include extra services you may not want or need. And if you're not comfortable doing these things online, you can freeze or lock your credit report over the phone or by mail as well. With your Verify, I'm Stephanie Haney.
Still ahead on To The Point, preparing for the holiday travel rush. Labor Day is 1 week away, and airports, highways, beaches, and theme parks are expected to be, of course, packed for the holiday season. Thousands mark the unofficial end of summer around this time, and TSA expects to screen more than 17 million people from Thursday to Wednesday. And on the roads, AAA says that drivers should be getting a break on those gas prices. Right now, the nationwide average is about $3.37 per gallon. You can find the lowest gas prices near you on our website at abc10.com/gas. And hey, thank you so much for spending part of your Monday with us. I know I always say it, but if you have something that you think we should be looking into, make sure to reach out to me and the team. We always love to hear from you. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.